It is Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 5. This is your instant match reaction. And today, it is a win this time. It's been a while, almost 5 weeks, since I made a video about Liverpool winning a game. So I'm going to review the game. I'm not going to talk about any statistics, any XGs and stuff like that over here. I love numbers, don't get me wrong. But that stuff, it's a bit boring for me. So I'm just going to go off vibes, what I saw in the game, how I felt about stuff that happened in the game. So before we go on, don't forget to like the video. Press the like button right now. Also, click the subscribe button if you are new here. And don't forget to comment down below. Anything you want to comment is welcome. Now, the first half. Before I go into the first half, actually, let's talk about the lineup. When I saw the lineup, I had the vibes of kind of a 3-5-2 formation, because I thought he was going to play Isak and Ekitike as the two up front, and the back three was going to be Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate. And for that matter, we were going to have wing backs in the shape of Jeremy Frimpong and Cody Gakpo. So that the midfield three was going to be Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, and Florian Wirtz. But I think what really happened was sort of a dynamic 4-4-2 formation. So I say dynamic because I also felt like at certain points in the game, it was a 3-back. But at other instances, it was more of a 4-back. So I think it was a 4-4-2 formation that we played today. Now, in the first half, the first goal Liverpool conceded, quite a disappointing goal, how it came about. It showed symptoms of the vulnerabilities that this team has this season. And for me, it hasn't gone yet. I think there's still some way to go for us to be able to get over that sort of problem, because the way Eintracht Frankfurt opened us up with just one counter-attack, because we were controlling the game. We were in their half trying to probe and get a goal. And just one counter-attack, they sliced us open like hot knife through a bread. So it wasn't good to see us concede such a goal. But we did fight back. I think the way the goal came was more or less due to the fact that our press wasn't right. We tried to press them when they won the ball back, but the press was all over the place. It was all over the place. And how they managed to get into our half with the midfielder who gave the assist in tons of space, just right in front of our 18-yard box. It was absolutely something that I couldn't understand. But it happened. And I think that is something that we need to keep working on. It hasn't improved. Stopping counterattacks, preventing teams from breaking on us is one of our main issues. And teams know this. They are going to try and take advantage of that. So I think that is something that we need to resolve. In the second half, it was much better. In the second half, our press was much better. And I think that was mainly due to the energy and the enthusiasm that Federico Chiesa brought into the game. Because I don't think Isak was pressing as well or as with much intensity compared to when Chiesa came on. So the press was much better. We were able to stamp our authority on the game, prevent them from playing on the counter. And we ourselves controlled the game. We were patient. So it was a good second half. I actually enjoyed watching the second half than the first half, even though we scored more goals in the first half than we did in the second half. So that was my impressions of this game. I'll talk about the first goal Liverpool scored. It was a counter attack. So we defended our goal. Robertson got the ball in the penalty area and just one pass through to Ekitike. And the way he skipped past the defender and cut across the defender. For me, I think what really made the goal was cutting across the defender, and that really speaks of how much players understanding their role and the situation in which they find themselves can really make a difference, because at that point Ekitike knew that if he cuts across the defender, he's out of the game. He's taking the defender out of the game. Now it's going to be between him and the goalkeeper, because once you cut across the defender, the slightest touch, when you go down, it's a red card for the defender. So he knew that. He exploited that advantage that he had and slotted it home perfectly. I just listened to the interview Ekitike had with TNT, and he was talking about the fact that he knew the goalkeeper was going to rush out and open his legs. So that was where he targeted, in between the legs of the goalkeeper. And that was exactly the best place to target. So that was the first goal. We scored 2 more goals in the first half from corners. Virgil van Dijk got the second goal, and the third goal was from Ibrahima Konate. And for me, what that says is that set pieces are very important in games like this, because you need the set pieces in order to open up the game for you. We've seen how other teams are really exploiting the threats of set pieces, and it's helping them. So why not? Let's also take advantage of set pieces, because we have the guys who can help us put set pieces away, in the shape of Van Dijk, Konate, and even Ekitike and Isak, because they are top players. They are really players that we can utilize when it comes to set pieces. So I think it's something that we have no option but to start really using it to our advantage. In the second half, our goals came from Cody Gakpo and Dominic Szoboszlai. Cody Gakpo's goal was more of the usual 6-yard box goal. Dominic Szoboszlai fired one from outside the box into the bottom corner of the goalkeeper. And the reason why I really enjoyed watching the second half was because we played like a mature team. We played more like a team that really can feel the situation within the game and play according to that situation, because we weren't really giving much away. We were baiting them to come out instead of pinning them back. And I think this is very important, because the way we've been playing this season, I think there has been a bit of arrogance about the way we play, and at the same time there is some naivety about the way we play, because we always think that pinning the opponent back and trying to force chances is the best way to play and to show our dominance. But I think that is sometimes not the best approach, because if the team you are playing is ready to leave or to relinquish possession, give you the ball, allow you to play and hit you on the break, when you pin them back and try to force chances, you are basically giving them what they want. That is something that they really want you to do. So what if you turn it around, give them the ball and force them to play? And I think sometimes it is better to do that, because the way we scored the first goal, it was more or less a counter-attack from Liverpool. And for me, what I think is that the way our team is set up, the attackers we have, the speed we have up front, the finishers that we have, we can always get goals. And we can always get goals if our strikers, our attackers have space to exploit. So that first goal from Ekitike, he had tons of space to run into. He had tons of space to exploit and to attack. So why don't we sometimes give the ball to the opponent, sit in a mid block and hit them on the break constantly? Because it will make them uncomfortable. When teams come to Anfield or when we go away to teams and they try to sit back and defend, I think sometimes the best approach is to try and hoof the ball on. Sometimes we should just try and do something that surprises the opponent. And I think in that way, we can sometimes get the best results. Another thing that I want to highlight is Federico Chiesa. I really liked what he did in that second half, his output in terms of pressing, his energy. And I think that is something that we've been missing throughout the entire season. One of our main issues, the reason why we keep conceding counter-attacks and transition plays from opponents, is because our press hasn't been good enough. The energy in the press is lacking. And to make matters worse, if we play Isak and Salah up front, I think that is something that really hurts the team, because these are two players who are not really pressers. That is not really their game. And so until we get Isak into that fitness level where he's able to run, he's able to really put in more energy, I think we should either start Salah or Isak. Starting them both doesn't really help the team. Because when Chiesa came on today, we could see the difference. The energy from Chiesa, Gakpo, Ekitike, it made a ton of difference compared to what we've seen from Salah and Isak throughout the season. And when Salah came on, he got some opportunities to make something happen. And again, he couldn't. There was one ball where he could have squared to Florian Wirtz to put away, but he decided to go for glory. And that was quite disappointing from Salah, because he knew the ball was even on his right foot. So he could have played the ball with his right foot across the goal, but he decided to change his body shape and shoot with his left, and that couldn't go in. So that is Mohamed Salah for you. I'm not saying he's a bad player by any stretch of the imagination, but this season, from what we've seen so far, and even in this game, I don't think he's shown enough for me to say, for example, that in our next game against Brentford, he should start. I don't think he should start that game. That is my opinion. I'm not saying that he should never start any game, but I think for now, he should be coming off from the bench. That is what I think should be happening. Conor Bradley came on for Jeremy Frimpong, who got a muscle injury and therefore had to be taken out in the first half. And I think Conor Bradley played well when he came on. It was disappointing to see Jeremy Frimpong go off in that way with an injury. So hopefully it is not something that is too serious and he's able to recover very, very soon. So that is my match reaction. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also comment down below. It is a win for Liverpool, so we'll take this win and we'll keep on staying humble and try to improve. Thank you. Stay blessed.